Good afternoon, everyone. So today's question that I have got for everybody is this. Do you think everything happens for a reason? I'd had a number of different topics that I thought I would share with you today, but a couple of things have just happened for me personally recently, and I just thought, you know what? I thought this was actually something that really stood out for me. And I wanted to share this because this isn't just necessarily even business related. I think this can be in any aspect of life, where I think it's so important to think, when something happens, whether it's a good or whether it's a bad thing, or whether it's something that, you weren't expecting, to really kind of think about it. Because I often say this, I really do believe that there is a lesson and there is a blessing in every single experience. And I've gone through, as I've shared with you a number of times, a number of different experiences over the last kind of 12 plus months. And, I really feel like I'm putting things back together again, and I'm really excited by what my future can bring. But it's often where I come across these obstacles, and I then looked and I kind of think to myself, is like, am I just having bad luck with this particular situation, or is there something that I'm doing wrong? Is it about me? And actually, I have to look at it in a way of, yes, I genuinely believe everything does happen for a reason. And I do think, as I said, that everything has a lesson and everything has a blessing. And I think when you go through a particular situation where you might be, for example, frustrated by the outcome, or, particularly if it's something that happens on a relatively regular basis, I do think it's so important to actually sit back and think, actually, there is a reason why this has happened, and there is something that I can take away from this, and then you learn from it, and you move forward. And I appreciate that there is this whole statement of, if you keep doing the same thing again and again and expecting a different result, that effectively it's the definition of insanity. And I'm not talking about that in terms of actions that you're necessarily taking, but it's more of a experience that you might have been going through. And I am being quite generic, because I'm talking a bit more about my personal life, not just in terms of my professional life here. But it's just, I just find it really interesting, when you do think about some of the experiences that we all, we go through. And it's so easy to have this kind of reaction to it, whether it's a positive reaction, whether it's a negative reaction, whether it's you think to yourself, you kind of then explode at it, or you explode at the situation, or you explode at an individual. And actually, I think for me, I really try hard not to react, but to respond to the situation. And sometimes you have to take a step back and think about it. Sometimes you have to even sleep on it before you actually respond to it. And I kind of just wanted to see whether anybody else had any kind of comments or experiences where they think, that they've kind of been in a situation where they either have reacted, whether whether positively or negatively, and whether that's in a personal situation, or whether that is in in a business setting. Because I think sometimes, I've had experiences where, when I was running the law firm, and something would happen, or, for example, we'd have a document come through, and you kind of want to respond, you want to react to it. Or even in a situation where a client does something and you're literally pulling your hair out, as if to say, if you had talked to me about it before you did anything, we could have had a different thing. But ultimately, we are human beings, and human beings have feelings and emotions. And sometimes, it could be even a situation where you've got a number of different things, and there's this kind of building block of, you've got one thing that happens, then something else happens and it's on top of that, then something else happens on top of that, and ultimately there's this, could be what is potentially a very minor thing that actually happens, but that's the one that actually triggers the explosion. Because obviously, because you've had this situation where it's one thing and another and another, and it could actually be the thing at the very beginning that's the real issue. It's not the thing that's actually triggered the reaction. And I kind of wanted to really get some feedback really from you guys as to whether you've had situations where, whether in a personal situation or a business situation, where you have exploded and you wished you hadn't, and or that you actually were able to handle it in a much more calm and professional way, whether you took that opportunity to take that step back. And I'll put it out there to you guys and say, do you think everything happens for a reason? Do you agree with what I'm saying in terms of that people need to learn how to respond rather than react? I really would be interested to hear some of the comments out there. So please do comment. I appreciate this. Some of you might even not be watching it live and it might be on a replay. I will still be kind of going back to having a look at the comments. So please do comment, even if you're watching it on a replay, because I would be fascinated to know what some of your experiences are, and whether you agree with the fact that when I say that there's always a lesson and there's always a blessing in experiences that we go through. And there was, I can't remember the exact wording of this quote, but it actually talks about the fact that we have to go through these experiences in life so that we then know how to grow, we know how to love, we know how we then change and we develop. And I think that's actually a really true thing, because as much as sometimes life can throw at us some real crap, I do think with that crap that we learn something from it, and it has happened for a reason. So please do share in the chat. I also just wanted to also put it out there in terms of, if you're interested in hearing some more kind of hints and tips and to hear more from me, I will be sort of starting to build more in terms of the content within the SLJ Business Network group. So if you would like to join, then please do come into the Facebook group. It's supposed to be about business community. It's supposed to be an environment where we can share ideas. It's a community. I've built it purposely. It's not just always supposed to be about me putting stuff in there. It's about us kind of all working collaboratively. And I actually think, as business owners, given everything that we've been through in the last 12 plus months, I think it's so important that business owners do come together as a community and we support each other. No doubt so many of us have gone through particular challenges, and we can help others so they don't go through the same challenges, or to give advice and to help one another. Being a business owner can be a lonely place, that's for certain. So I think it's so important to really have that community feeling, really support one another, be there for one another, and help each other grow. There's nothing wrong with a bit of healthy competition, but there's a difference between there being that healthy competition and kind of that aggressive, you need to be better than everybody else. So like I said, please do join the SLJ Business Network. If you want to have a chat with me about anything in particular, or you want to even book in a strategy session, then do please let me know. I hope you've benefited from some of the things I've shared with you today. Please, like I say, do comment. I really want you guys to be interacting with me when I'm doing the lives, or even if you're watching the replay. I do this to be able to help you all. So yeah, hopefully I shall get some feedback from you guys, and see your comments, and I hope you have a fantastic week. And I will be back here at some point during the course of tomorrow, sharing another hint and tip, and hopefully some thought-provoking comments And like I say, hope you have a great day and speak to you all soon.